Hey guys, we're back and you have sent us some really great questions and it's time to get to answering them.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so Terry in Denver. The first question comes from you.
Yeah, Terry writes, "Hello Anna and Kristopher. I currently live in a 3-bedroom house with my husband and 2 daughters. My daughters currently share a bedroom and we use the 3rd bedroom as a guest room / office for myself. I love living in Denver and we purchased this home 5 years ago. As my daughters get older, I would like them to have their own bedrooms. I'm not sure whether or not to renovate to try to gain more space or maybe just relocate altogether." That's a great question.
Yeah. Okay, so my answer would be let's get in there, take a look at your house, really evaluate the home, and see if we can maximize your space. Personally, I have a home that has 1,000 square foot of unused space, all this attic space.
Okay.
And so if I needed an extra bedroom, I could easily go into that attic space with a little bit of work. I would need to, of course, reroute some HVAC units and things like that, which is I'm not trying to make light of that, but if I loved the area, if my kids were in a particular school and I did not want to move, then I would very much consider doing that.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm adding value to the home.
Yes.
And depending on how long I've been in the home, depending on where the home is, I might put a lot of thought and consideration into staying in that home because I'm probably going to make that money back at the end of it and be able to live in the home and really where I want to stay in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good answer. I personally think since the market is doing so well right now, that you can definitely maximize the value of your home, especially 3-bedroom, and purchase a 4-bedroom in Denver. And most of the time, or well, a lot of times that I see, a 4-bedroom home will come with its own separate office or den. So therefore, you're not going to be having a guest room and office together because let's say you need to work in that office and you have guests then, then you're kind of interrupting them a little bit.
Sure.
So I think you can definitely find a very nice 4-bedroom home that will satisfy your needs.
Okay. Well, Terry, give us a call.
Yeah.
Let us come out. Let us take a look at your space and really get in there and give you some ideas of what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, our next question comes from Josh in Mooresville.
Hey guys, my wife and I have been debating about opening up the kitchen more to the living room. I'm more traditional, being from Massachusetts, where each room has its sole purpose. My wife, on the other hand, wants to be all open for entertaining. I fear that the cost of doing that will be a lot, and I think keeping the way it is will be just fine. What do you guys think?
Okay, well, I'll take this one. Start with this.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Because, I would definitely say let's get in there, let's open this up for a couple of reasons. One, your wife is the one that's probably doing all of the cooking and actual entertaining in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And while it's not a big deal for you because you're out mingling and talking to all of your friends and doing that part of the entertaining, she's kind of left all by herself in this cave, so to speak. And so if we open up that space, then she's able to be part of the party also. I've actually done some really cool things that have incorporated the living room and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been as, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. There are definite cost factors that can be taken in consideration, but there's also ways, if you're going to have a large piece of furniture in there, you want to have a table for, let's say, 8. Well, I put a huge island into a kitchen, and we had 8 people that could sit around.
Wow.
So we didn't have to worry about another table. We could take all those costs and put them towards that slab.
Yeah.
And a few bar stools around it, and it was so much more of a very cozy feel. Everybody could sit around. They could talk to the person that was cooking. it incorporated everybody. Also, you don't have to worry about going into the kitchen to replenish the dip,
Yep.
and you miss out on the last couple of seconds of the game. And we're not going to talk about the teams, but those last couple of seconds made or broke the game's
Yeah.
ending result. And you walk back in there, and within those couple of seconds, you find out that your team just threw away the game.
Yeah.
And then you're mad. So that's another reason
Yeah.
not to have that separate room that you have to go into. But anyway, let's don't get into the sports game. Let's get into your answer.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go with the wife on this one. I mean, open it up. I mean, I see from people who are looking to buy homes, they like the open concept. I mean, I come from New England, so I completely understand where you're coming from, Josh, when
you're going to make
you're
the money
used
back.
to, those individual rooms, because that's how it was for me growing up. But yeah, nowadays people want the open concept, so
that's going to bring cost.
That's going to bring more money for you if you decide to sell the house eventually.
Definitely is going to raise the cost of the house or raise the value of the house.
Yeah.
And I mean, without seeing what we're working with, it's really hard to tell you if this is going to be a huge undertaking or not, because there's things to take in consideration, of course. Plumbing, there's electrical.
Yeah.
So there's lots. I mean, if it's a low-bearing wall, if it's not, but it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few times that it's not going to be able to be done. If your great room is on one side of the house and your kitchen is on the other end, we can't do it. But other than that, we can definitely open this area up. We can be very creative with it, and I think you're going to love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely do that. So our next question here is from Stephen and April, and they are in Cheryl's Ford. We're getting questions all over the place.
Yeah. Hi, Anna and Kristopher. We moved to Lake Norman 2 years ago and love living at the end of a cove. Our home is extremely dated, but it was all that we could afford at the time. With that being said, we've been saving up a lot to start doing some updates. When it comes to updating a home, where would you start first? Also, what updates would give us the biggest return on our home? Good question.
Kitchen and bath.
Yeah, absolutely. Kitchen and bathroom. I would start with the kitchen first, but that's because I like to cook and I like to have a nice big open kitchen, especially if, most likely it's got views of the lake. So, I mean, that's where I would start first, but definitely kitchen and bathrooms, those are going to give you your biggest returns.
Okay.
So, what about you?
Well, I would definitely agree. I mean, they always say, those are the two areas that's going to, make or break the house, and that's what sells a home. But I would also take in consideration how you live. I've had clients before that really don't even know what a convection oven is. So the kitchen's not going to be the biggest deal for them.
That's true.
And then there's other clients that really don't have a lot of storage and don't really need a nice closet.
Yeah.
So, for them, the bathroom is not that big of a deal.
Yep.
So I would definitely make yourself some priority lists, find out a little bit about that person and how they live.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I would say you want to have a haven to go home to, even during the renovation process. So move into a guest bedroom temporarily. I'm sure you have at least one or two. I don't see that you have any children, and it's just the two of you in the home. So I would move into another part of the home, do your bathroom and your master bedroom, so that area is nice, and then go into the kitchen secondary, and then kind of spread out from there, leaving the guest bedrooms, the guest bath as kind of at the end of the list.
Okay.
But I would definitely recommend just let me come out, do an exploratory with you. What that is we get in there, I can have some contractors, we can find out if there's any unforeseen problems that we'll have to address that are not even going to give you a look. It's just going to fix any issues that you may have. And then we can find out how much everything is going to cost, and then really get in there and do a timeline for you. whether this is going to be over the matter of a year, 2 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you all of the tools so we can make this very successful.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. And we have one more question for today. This is Madison from Cornelius.
Madison says, my husband and I live on Lake Norman, and I feel as if our home is just way too big for the two of us now and may want to sell it. I had an interior designer come in about 6 years ago to do everything. Would it be worth having it redone again just to sell it, or save the money to fix minor problems with the home that may come up in an inspection?
Okay.
Well, you want to take the lead on this one?
Sure. Okay, so Madison, I remember you. I think we worked together 6 years ago. This is awesome. Okay, so what I would recommend is take care of everything that you need on the inspection list, because you do not want to have any issues there. And then I would go through and not necessarily do a full-on redesign of everything in the home. However, I would update. And I don't like to refer to this as staging. I like to refer to this as designing for sale.
Okay.
So you might be in the house for another 6 months. You might be in the house for another year. I'm not sure what your time frame is, but I would definitely update it. We're very visual people.
Yeah.
You know, if you go into a home, I know personally, I've gone out with friends looking for homes, and you go into a home and it's a mess. It's cluttered. People can't get past that. Yeah. They want something that looks clean and looks fresh. And I know there's a few realtors and that I'm friends with, and they'll post pictures of very tragic homes that are out on the market right now. You don't want to be that way. You don't want to give anybody anything to poke fun of.
Yeah.
Everybody has their personal style. Going in and seeing a one look over another, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just updating it, making it look fresh, making it look inviting to the majority of people out there. You want to have your buyers market a little bit more broadened.
Yeah.
And so you get in there, just clean it up a little bit, refresh it. You're probably not going to be able to utilize everything in your new home. You may buy a kitchen table and it may be too small or too big for the new space. So if that piece works, let's just update it. It might be a few $1,000s for each of the rooms, just depending on how much update we need to do. But I would definitely update it without completely redoing it.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. I definitely think you have to fix the minor problems.
Absolutely.
That is a must. Just because, you know, if the home buyer's with the inspector as they're doing the inspection, and he starts basically coming up with issues with the home, the buyer right there is calculating how much it's going to cost in their head. And their calculations, most of the time, it's like 2 to 3 times more than what they actually are. But then they just get that stuck in their head, and as soon as they're doing that, they are starting to discount their offer price. And so, I mean, just since you live on Lake Norman and Cornelius, I'm going with right away. Your average price is right around like 1.2, 1.3 million. So, you know, that could drastically change your offer price. So definitely get those fixed, and way, you know, like Anna said, do some small updates, some paint, some decluttering, maybe update some light fixtures, and maybe some doorknobs here or there, and just really, you know, update for sale.
Just make it nice and, you know, take out a little personality. Cause you don't need as much of your personality when you're selling a home.
You don't need 50 family photos in your bedroom or living room. You know, you can knock it down to like 5. But, that's basically it.
Absolutely. But one tip that I would like to share with everybody is don't neglect your home. A lot of people will live with a leaky faucet, or they'll live with some of these things, and then when it comes down to the time for them to move, oh my gosh, now they have to fix it. They
Yes.
have to fix it, or they're mad that they're not getting the full value of their home. And if you can just keep up with it, if you've lived in the home for 30 years and you've never renovated anything, you probably want to do just a little bit. And I mean, would you not agree with that?
Absolutely.
Just kind of keep it manageable.
Yeah.
For every 5 years that you're in a home, look to invest a small chunk of money into
just
the
to
home,
keep
just to keep it nice.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
I mean, it will be worth it in the long run.
Yes.
Either way, if you stay in the home for years and years and years, that's less problems you're going to have.
Yeah.
Or if you plan on selling, that's less problems you're going to have.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, great. Well, I look forward to getting more of your questions. And
yeah.
I know we were talking, I would like to challenge someone out there to send us a question, but include some pictures.
Yeah, some photos. If you could do that, we would love to break down the photo and
really be able to give you some good answers.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a little difficult to fully answer some of these questions. We can kind of give you some generic questions, but if we have that picture, we can really tell you yes, no.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we still aren't opening up your walls, but we can definitely give you a little bit more of a
a little more help.
A little bit more information there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.